I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to I Am Sure Sports. This is going to be the final one for the day, and we want to thank you for tuning in to I Am Sure Sports. I am Manning's man, and as we always do and always say, it's a privilege to be alive, and so we always want to take time, we want to stop, we want to pause and give thanks for life. And also we give thanks to the creator of all things, that we have our families and our loved ones. We may not have all the things that we desire in this life, but we have life. And if there is life, there is hope for another day. Never lose hope. If you don't succeed, brush yourself off and you can try again. Stop looking at the closed doors and look at the door that is being opening right before you, and make the most of the opportunities that life presents before you. Thank you for joining the channel. Right? I want to encourage you that as you watch, to please hit the like button if you have never or you have not subscribed to I Am Sure Sports or I Am Sure Sports Caribbean. Please go ahead and do so. Share our contents with others as well, so they can be a part of the family. I have with me today one of the founders of the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. He's going to be here. His name is Mr. Karl Wallace. We have some things in common. We went to the great 1738. It is the Manning School located in Westmoreland, where there we say life without learning is death. He also went to Monroe College, right? I'm very sure if you were to ask him, he would tell you his days at Manning's were a whole lot better than his time spent at Monroe. But big up all Monroe past and present students as well. We're going to have a discussion about just the role of the fans, what Reggae Boyz Supporters Club is all about, how you can be involved and engaged in that. So I want you to make him feel very, very welcome to the platform. I Am Sure Sports, and remember, we will allow you to ask questions, or we'll pose your questions as you put them forward. So let me just, before I bring him on, if you are interested in knowing what is going on in St. Elizabeth, where the Jamaica U17s are playing against Trinidad and Tobago U17, Ronaldo Barrett scored a 17th minute penalty to give the Jamaicans a 1-0 lead. All right, so without any further ado, Mr. Wallace, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. I'm a
Wonderful.
fan of I Am Sure Sports.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad. And I'm a fan of Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. Are you doing well?
Thank you for that.
Doing well?
Yes, we're doing well.
And family doing well?
Everybody's doing fine. And I trust yours also.
Yes, sir. We are. All right. So, listen, I know you're a very busy man. And first, let me just express my sincere gratitude for you to taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. I know you have other things to do, so we won't keep you long, but we believe that this will be very informative, and we will all walk away learning something from what is discussed and shared here today. I want you to just take some time and just give the fan base, the persons listening, a little background into your involvement into football. Help them to get to know you a little bit well, and just some of your roles in football as it relates to Jamaica.
Well, the first big introduction to the Jamaican football scene was as a spectator. I actually had the pleasure of watching the Arthur Mackenzie trained St. George's College play against Cornell College for the Olivia Shield at the Cornell College school grounds. I think it was 1958 or 1959. And I was hooked, particularly by the St. George's College team, because they played what I consider the same type game we're seeing by the top world teams now: passing and moving. Arthur Mackenzie appeared to be a man before his time, because I fell in love with Arsenal, which I happen to know you also like that team. And especially in the Arsene Wenger years, when that passing and moving game, the flowing way Arsenal played. And that is how I always wanted to see Jamaica play. I watched the Brazilian teams. Like most Jamaicans, we're hooked on the Brazilian teams. But too many Jamaicans, I think, got hooked on what in my days we used to call popping, and I understand you call brocking now.
Yeah.
And failed to realize that the Brazilians were actually playing the pass and move game. That is what they played. They were a team. Then I went to Michael College, and there was a shortage of referees. And the Referees Association came to Michael, partnered with Michael, and I became a referee. They put on courses and I became a referee. And I went right through that, and I retired as a FIFA referee.
Okay.
I even tried coaching for a little while, but that didn't last. I tried coaching a team that practiced and played on our grounds behind Vauxhall off Windward Road. And it's a very funny story, but the very first match we played, we were playing the defending champions Harborview at Harborview. And the owner of the team disagreed with a change I was to make at halftime. And that ended my coaching career. It was very short.
It was
match,
short-lived.
yes, the match ended 0-0, however, with Harborview. So the defending champions and the team I had prepared up to that point. That was good. I was satisfied that they held on.
In terms of you being a FIFA referee, I mean, what tournaments, what are the major tournaments that you would have officiated in outside of what you would have done locally, which is at the highest level, the Premier League in Jamaica?
The highest tournament I refereed in was what was it called then? I went to St. Kitts.
The Caribbean Cup?
It wasn't the Caribbean Cup. It was before the Caribbean Cup came into being. It was the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, I think, had a competition.
Okay.
And that was, I think, in 1977. Don't hold me to it.
Okay. We also served as chairman. Are you a part of GenSec for the Referees Association?
I was once the general secretary for the Jamaica Football Referees Association.
Yes. Okay.
It's unfortunate now that I understand they're having some problems and we do not have a national referees association. I really want them to get back to that.
Because so there's no National Referees Association?
That's what I understand.
So who governs the referee? Is it the JFF?
It's the JFF. There's a JFF Referees Commission. I do not know if they have changed the name, but it was a Referees Commission while I was there.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Wonderful. All right. Listen, you have also been involved in Jamaica's football from a fan, a supporter, officiating. What? Give us a little take on what football used to be, what it is now, in your opinion, and your expectation of our football going ahead.
Well, the first thing I should say is I'm a fanatic in the true sense of the word. A fanatic. When I was first introduced to football, they had a formation they called the WM.
The WM, right.
Right. Then the next that became favorites was 4-2-4. And then there were various variations on that, like the 4-3-3 and that sort of thing. I have grown to believe that besides starting off the game, restarts, and free kicks, formations are basically through the window.
Yes.
It is a matter of triangles all over the field, right? And it's a matter of the player on your team being at the right place at the right time, right? And we have a couple little mantras that we to get to the ball first, and then we have other stuff, attack the ball, that sort of thing. And then we have what coaches should probably be looking for. The player should be as strong as an ox, can jump as high as the sky, has great balance, is as fast as a bullet, and is good tactically and technically, with a lot of emphasis on receiving and giving the ball at the forefront, because that is usually where we fall down, and you see players afraid to go to the ball because they doubt themselves onto receiving it properly. And that among other things is where I see our football. I believe in terms of talent, we have the talent to be the very best in the world. Certainly at the lower levels, if you put our clubs, our youngsters against teams from other parts of the world, they do very well. I remember Harborview used to send, was it Harborview? Used to send, one of the clubs used to send youth teams into Europe. And they always did very well. They always did very well. So the basic raw talent we have. We are quick. Our players can manipulate the ball, excepting perhaps not passing as well as they should, not quote unquote controlling the ball. And controlling the ball for me is both receipt of the ball and passing of the ball. Technically, those are the twin technical things that should be at the forefront. Unfortunately, a lot of us believe that blocking, popping means a player is technically good. It does not necessarily mean so. For that small time that I coached, I had a player that could beat anybody in the world, but he couldn't pass the ball if you kill him dead. He would go down to the goal and he would miss from 6 yards. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, someone here is just helping us. Thank you, El Gran Hero. He says the Caribbean Cup replaced the CFU Championship competition, which was active between 1978 and 1988. I think he was trying to figure out if that's what you were talking, but you were speaking about something in the Eastern Caribbean, which would have been a little bit different from what he's suggesting now. But let me ask you the question this way. Are you based on your just your time in the football, do you believe in terms of the playing ability, our football is at a better place now than where it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago?
I would think so. Certainly we have been to a World Cup. Certainly we have been very close to getting to a World Cup. I think once we lost out by a point, I think it was. And we have players leaving the island and going abroad and fitting in well in the professional setting. Like we have the Aston Villa player Bailey.
Bailey, yeah.
And before him, we had Bibi Gardner. Long before him, we had Bibi Gardner and Ricardo Fuller. And we have now a few players in Europe, and we have a handful of players in the MLS. So I think we are in a better place. It's a matter of creating the teams at the various level. We're just not good at playing as a team.
Okay, more pointed towards let me ask you this. So I had the power and I came in and I said to you, Mr. Karl Wallace, beginning today, you will be the president, the leader of Jamaica's football. All right. What comes to mind in terms of what you need to do or what you would do to further add to the improvement in the footballing quality and results that we're having as a nation?
For me, I think it all starts with the JFF. And I must say that watching your interviews with the General Secretary and hearing what he has to say, that they are on the right track. Yeah. To improve the football, the first thing to do is to improve the coaching. Coaching is like teaching. The coach is a person like the teacher. He's there to impart knowledge, but he's also there to motivate.
Yeah.
He's there to stimulate thinking. A lot of the coaches in my time, they would never discuss the aims of what they're doing with their players. And it was said that a coach at a particular ground or with a particular club would not like someone from another club to know what he is doing. So I think it all starts with the JFF, their organization, how they cooperate with like the intersecondary schools, the clubs, the parishes, the confederations, and how the information flows from top to bottom and from bottom up to top, and the resources that they provide to these other affiliated groups. For example, in my time, a FIFA course was held at Kingston College. And for whatever reason, I was also invited to attend that course. Courses like those and sending coaches abroad to observe what is happening at the top clubs would help. It reminds me of the track and field situation. There were many doubters that Frano and Glenn Mills could have done what they did. I remember Herb Mack once saying, no Jamaican would be able to, who is based at home, would be able to train people up to world-class standard. They need to go abroad to get this type of knowledge and that sort of stuff. No, we have people in Jamaica that if the JFF provides the right resources, they will rise to the challenge, just as Frano and Glenn Mills and so many others now are doing.
Wonderful. Well said. Well said. Now, what is the role of Reggae Boyz Supporters Club? What is the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club? And what is its role in Jamaica's football?
It can supplement and can be used by the JFF as a marketing tool to spread the word for what they're doing. I can remember being in Florida and a Jamaica national team, the Reggae Boyz, came to Florida to play matches. And I never knew there were matches here or they were playing here. Your forum, as well as I'm sorry, let me turn this off. Your forum, as well as the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club, can be a conduit to get information to the fans and to spread it around the world. To be honest, we need that type of outlet. We need these types of outlets so that we can reach the widest possible market. Because if the stadia are filled, more funds should pour into the coffers of the JFF.
Yeah.
There should be more exposure for our players, and it could lead to other things like contracts and people taking an interest, trials, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because I recently did, you referred to an interview I did with Dennis Strong, who is the new General Secretary. And one of the things he said is that he welcomes the human capital that Jamaica has outside of the borders of Jamaica, the geographical borders of Jamaica. And so I want to know if you have considered reaching out to him and say, listen, I am so-and-so, this is the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club, and we can play a role. We are available, because he did say that persons outside of Jamaica, the geographical borders, can serve, seeking to engage the diaspora in what is happening. Is that something that the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club are looking forward to doing, or it's not a part of your modus operandi?
No, we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to working with the JFF in every way we can. We could, as I said, we could even be an outlet if they have an online store, for example. If they have a well-established website, for example, we could have mutual relationships And their store could be put on our website and people could buy from their store via the website. We also could reach people across the world. Most of the people who come onto our website are not in Jamaica. They're in other parts of the world, various parts of the world.
Okay. Okay. And what about the casual fan? The fan who says, you know, I want to be a part of the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. You have your website, which is www.reggaeboyssupportersclub.com, right? Ryan LFC, Elite Sports TV, bless up my brother. One love, man. Love for the love all the while, right? How does the fan though get engaged? What is required of them, and how can a fan out there listening to this say, you know what? I'm in the diaspora. I'm in Jamaica. I want to be a part of the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club.
Anyone who would like to join, and we welcome members coming on. There's no charge. Just get onto the website and register, and you can take part in all the discussions. You can post things. You would just be a part of us. We also previously encouraged people to attend Reggae Boyz matches wherever they are, both in Jamaica and in the rest of the world. But as Mr. Chong said, one of the great things that would push us along is a good product.
Yes.
We need our various teams to be excellent teams. We have the people, we have the players, we just need the teaching, the coaching, the management.
Yeah. And how long has the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club been in operation?
It's been in operation from 1999. It may have been.
That's after we qualified for the World Cup?
It may have been the year in which we qualified for the World Cup. But I think the first review of the website was in 99.
Okay. All right.
We're actually going through a review process right now because we have articles, interviews, like we had an interview with Carl Brown, Wendell Dunswell, Captain Burrell, and a few other people. And all of those, we are gathering them up now to put them in our website, because we are in an ongoing process of filling out the website, growing out the website.
Okay. Let me just answer this question. Yes, the game is still going, is on, and the last score was Jamaica 1, penalty scored by Adrian Reed. All right, so that is what is happening in the under 17 game. Now, if I'm a part of the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club, is it that we go to games together wherever we are, we meet up? What are some of the benefits? Someone is saying that El Granero, he knows a lot about Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. He says he believes it was from 1997, which would have been the year before when we qualified. That would have been, we went to the World Cup in 1998 and maybe the official establishment of a site. But he's saying that it would have been from 1997.
He's perhaps right.
Okay.
Yes, because I can remember, as he says, that we actually went around to matches in 98, 97. I remember a particular match in the RFK Stadium in Washington. An unbelievable experience versus
That was a game when we had more Jamaicans in the stadium than Americans, and they decided that we'd never play back in that stadium again.
That's what they say. But the noise and what we were doing, it certainly sounded as if we had more Jamaicans there. In fact, the New York Times wrote an article about it, because there were like ships coming down the highways from various points, like from New York with the banners and the bugles and the whatever. It was unbelievable. Possibilities are endless in terms of the support we can give and perhaps in a way generate funds for the football.
Awesome. Well, he's saying that it's 1997 with Karl and Paul Marin.
Yes, there's Paul. Yes.
So El Granero, he knows a lot about what is going on.
Yes.
Yes. Eagle Republic, I don't know about that marathon, my friend. But I mean, what are some of your most memorable moments in terms of you know, a fan, like I say, a fanatic of Jamaica football, like maybe that what you just mentioned, that game where there were more. It was reported more Jamaicans were there than American. But what are some of the games, the moments in Jamaica's football that they are lasting memories?
There's 3 particular games. In fact, 4 games that stand out. The game in which we qualified at the stadium. That was something else. And although I never went to France, when we defeated Japan, it brought me to tears. That was a moment. But then there were 2 other matches. That one I told you about in 97, I think it was 97, And there was a match in the Orange Bowl where we played Brazil.
Yeah, that was after wasn't that after the World Cup when Roberto Carlos scored the free kick? We got 1-0.
I'm not sure we got 1-0, but what I do remember about it is that we played the great Brazil to a standstill.
Yeah,
we were tremendous. So if I had any doubts about the innate ability of our footballers, or anybody had them, it would be wiped from their minds. No, we have the talent in all pockets of Jamaica.
Right. Yeah, it was the Gold Cup, right? It was a Gold Cup.
I think it was a Gold Cup. That is correct.
Right. It was a Gold Cup. Thank you, RR. Yes.
And did we lose that match or was it a drawn match?
I think we lost the game.
We lost the game, eh? But it's probably
and it was a match that Tapa Nose got broken by Junior Bayano. Yeah.
That is correct. That is a match.
Yeah. It was the Gold Cup.
That is a match.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm almost certain that we got 1-0. I think it's 1-0 the game ended. But R&R, remind me, it was a 1-0 game, I think I was stopped from that game, but I think it's 1-0. But I mean, who are some of the players? I mean, Jamaican players that really, they are some of your.
I don't know if you can hear me. It appears as if we're frozen. Would it be me? No, it's not me.
Oh, I think we lost connectivity. We're back. You hear me?
We are back. Yes.
All right. So, some of your favorite players. That Jamaican players. Those who you really,
Well, players who I thought were. I thought Bibi Gardner was world class.
Yeah.
Then there is Tapa Whitmore.
Yes.
Who could orchestrate a game as good as anybody around at that time. His problem was he lacked pace. But he had everything. He scored over 2 goals, by the way, when we defeated Japan.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And he was one of the leading goal scorer from the beginning of that campaign. In fact, I did an interview where I said it was Paul Teague, where Paul Teague, David, actually said the goal that got us into the final 6 was scored by Teague, but it was actually Tupper that scored for Jamaica that brought us over the edge and got us into the round of 6 tie. We were moved from there into qualifying. So he really scored a lot of important goals for Jamaica. You know, I think people forget that he has scored a lot of important goals. I think he is the leading all-time goal scorer as a midfielder for Jamaica as well.
Or supplied the pass that led to the goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what about before that 1998 campaign though? What about some other players, you know, that you'd have watched probably as a kid growing up in Jamaica and stuff?
Well, one of the best players I saw, and this was after he had retired, was Lindy De La Pena.
Yes.
He didn't make waves except when he scored. But his passing, his movement was so good. I think he was underappreciated by the fans, the local fans.
Did he ever play in like an international game for Jamaica?
I think I read somewhere that he did. But in terms of receiving the ball and passing the ball, and I do not know why he never scored a ton of goals for Jamaica, Alan Skill Cole was world class. Definitely he was world class. It was a talent, I think, that did not live up to the potential. But he was world class.
Alan Skill Cole?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's Lindy De La Pena, Alan Skill Cole. Okay, that's 2.
A Gardner, I mentioned before.
Right, Ricardo Gardner and Theodore Whitmore.
And the goalkeeper who there are a number of goalkeepers who were very, very good. Aaron Lawrence, I think, was underappreciated. I think he was very, very good.
Yes.
Before him, there was Vesta Constantine, who was
always
genius man, right?
Yeah. In fact, DV Hales, when I was doing like the top 10 best goalkeepers of all time, he always mentioned Vesta Constantine as one of the goalkeepers. But many people did not, because they didn't know him, they would not have had him in the top 10. But it's good that you mentioned that name. And Kyle is here and he's asking you did you watch Gil Heron play?
No, he was before my time.
but he would have been before Lindy De La Pena as well, because they said that he's the first Jamaican to play in the United Kingdom. Gil Heron.
That's what they say. Yes, it was before Lindy. It certainly was before Lindy's time. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you like Aaron Lawrence Constantine?
Yes, I thought for his height, Orville Edwards was also outstanding. I don't know if you ever heard of Orville Edwards.
Yes, I think they said that he's Kemar Lawrence's father.
Could be. I don't know. That's a new one.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Interesting. The names. Lindy De La Pena, Alan Skill Cole, Ricardo Gardner, I believe, was world class.
Yes.
Theodore Tupper Whitmore. Whoa. Yeah. All right. What about the players nowadays? Because I mean, when people talk about big players, I mean, I think some people underappreciate Ricardo Gardner. I think we don't realize that this kid played on a team that qualified for the World Cup while still in high school. He goes to the World Cup, and from the Jamaican leagues and the World Cup, goes and plays in a Bolton team and was a starter for almost all of his career.
11 years, I think it was. At least 11 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's underappreciated. I mean, in terms of Jamaican talent. I don't know if and I always say that as I bring up Tapa, that if the doors were opened back then to Caribbean players or Jamaican players, maybe Tapa would have been in England way before. Like I said, he probably lacked a bit of pace, but the game wasn't as that fast in England in those early times.
But brutal, and he needed a little beef too.
Yes.
But another thing people don't remember about Bibi Gardner, he was the assist man for first goal at the World Cup.
Yeah, he made that square to Robbie Earl.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
R is asking you about Ali McNabb, if you would have seen Ali McNabb play.
Yes, I saw Ali from schoolboy right up until he retired.
Because he was at Cornwall College. Would you have been at Manning's, or that was after you? Or
I was at Manning's at the same time. While he was at Cornwall.
When he was at Cornwall, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Ali could strike the ball. He was a tremendous striker of the ball. Scored a lot of goals.
So how come you weren't a star at Manning's, man, with all this football knowledge? Acosta Cup.
Well. Now that I'm much older, then I can say that the coaching then left a lot to be desired.
That is it.
But we improve as the years roll by.
Yes. Listen,
I still think Jamaica is in a very good position now.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing coming out of the JFF now, and with what I'm seeing in world football, I think we can move up, top 25. And you know that a coach said it's just fine margins.
Yeah.
Right? And I think when we are at the stage where our team play, let's face facts, is not good, we can make a big jump if in a short time, if we can get that team play going.
Yeah.
Remember, the easiest way to beat an opponent is go with your teammate.
Yeah. Teammate, there's a teamwork makes the dream work.
That is so.
So how optimistic are you about us qualifying for 2026 and you being able to drive down to the stadium to watch the national team? That's the final question, because I know you have an appointment and I don't want it to be late, so I want to release you and maybe we'll pick up the conversation at some other point. Now that I know that you're a FIFA referee, when we see any dubious calls being given to Manchester United, we'll make sure we get your expert opinion on it. But how confident or optimistic are you that in 2026 in the United States, you'll be able to drive from home and go and watch the Jamaica team play in a World Cup game?
The word is optimistic. It can be done. It's just for the JFF and the players to do it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to release, because I know you did say you have an appointment. We're going to pick up the conversation. But again, just please tell people, those listening, how they can get connected to Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. Give them the site and what to do when they get to the site.
Yeah, we're inviting all lovers of the Reggae Boyz. I should not even say that. All lovers of Jamaica's football. The Reggae Boyz, the Reggae Girls, our youth teams, to join the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. The website is www.reggaeboyz. I say Z because we are on a Jamaican thing rather than Z. BOYZ SC for supportersclub.com. So I say it again. www.reggaeboyzsc.com.
All right. So there you have it, people. Listen, Kyle, if you're still in the chat, just if you could just go ahead and put that link in there so people can go over there, check it out, and sign up for it. Mr. Wallace, listen, former management, you understand me? He supports Arsenal, and you know what that means. Great minds think alike.
All right. Thank you very much for having invited me. But
Thank
as you said,
so much.
I have to run off.
Yes, so we'll finish up our conversation, but be safe and we will talk again. Thank you so much and really appreciate the time spent with you.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye-bye.
Wallace. Bye. All right, so there you have it, people. All right, I'm going to pin the link, right? So it's also in the comment section. So you need to go over and you need to go over there and just become a member, right? It will be so nice if we all have this supporters club, so that when we go into the States to game, or we go to Jamaica to games, that we all can meet up and be like a big block of supporters in the same color, right? So there you go. That's the link. Reggae Boyz supporters club.com forum 1. There you go. So right now I'm going to leave it there. It's in the comment section, so you can sign up for that. Brain drain, respect. TikTok. I'm just going to say TikTok. Gardner didn't do much internationally for Jamaica. TikTok, one day you and I need to sit down and talk about Gardner's accomplishment for Jamaica, right? And we can go through the qualifying games that we played, that Ricardo Gardner played in, and I can tell you how many assists he had in important goals, and how many what he calls secondary assists, that he made the pass that became the pass that made the assist, and right, leading up in that campaign and after that campaign as well. All right, TikTok, but we have to have that conversation because this video is dedicated to Mr. Karl Wallace and stuff. I am sure sport. See your name. No, brain drain. I don't know why. I am not at that level. I suppose, you know. I don't reach that status yet. So maybe that's it. But people really hope you enjoyed the conversation. It's always important that we hear about just some of the history of our football, and also hear from persons who are independently dedicating their time and their effort to enhance the product all across Jamaica, right? All right. So please make sure you check that out. Kyle, I'm going to bring up a comment by O'Neill Dawkins, and then you, one of these days, you're going to have to respond to it. Brain Drain said Gardner's legacy was his young age and playing for Bolton. What is wrong? Brethren, why you come over here? Michael Gard, what do you mean? And fools seldom differ. Oh my lord. O'Neill Dawkins should rename that site to Jamaica EPL support. Only thing that gets supported over there is the EPL. Really? No man, there is content for local stuff over there. O'Neill Dawkins. So we are coming over there, O'Neill Dawkins, to join you. You start the conversation. Start the conversation about Jamaica's football over there, Mr. Dawkins. All right. Are you related to the Dawkins that was a part of the under-17 team? Are you his uncle? Don't know. Did you buy that? Yes, definitely, brain drain. Definitely. Who told you? You're a smart man, you know. Or you know, you are what Mr. Michael Garden said. But I want to thank you for being a part of this show. Great interview. Watch it from the beginning if you did not get a chance to pick it up that early. I want to say a big thank you for everyone who tuned in and join this show. Great conversation with Mr. Karl Wallace, one of the founders of Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. Listen, I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. It's always a pleasure being with you, just sharing thoughts and having worthwhile discussion. Pray good health and peace and prosperity for you and your loved one. And may wherever you go, that the angels of the Lord just surround you and keep you. Be good and make it your mantra to add value to people's life in your speech and in all your conduct. Have yourself a blessed day. You will see us again tomorrow. We have a couple of great ones, all right, over there, right? So please check that out. There you go. And Kyle is giving the reason for that. O'Neil Dawkins, sad to say, when the Reggae Boyz are poor, the website gets low traffic. So the Reggae Boyz must be doing good for us to do good. That's a good one. That's a very good one. That's a very good one. Thank you, Kyle, for that explanation. All right, so people, please take care of yourselves. I mean, the Jamaica Reggae Boyz, they're leading Trinidad and Tobago by 1-0 in second half action down there in St. Elizabeth. Penalty scored by Adrian Reed, right? So Jamaica 1, Trinidad and Tobago 0. Our friend and other vlogger, Military Guna, he's on location and he is providing updates. You can check that out on Instagram if you desire to follow what is happening there. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And when it gets to this point, we say we are over and we are O-U-T out of here.